Reset day 71, maybe? Been a little bit since I did a reset day. I have been a busy guy. Got 2 new clients for the business, and usually it takes all of my attention to get them set up on everything. So today I'm gonna try to go through a lot of Pistoleer things. I've been talking about and working on this guide, so I'm gonna try to run through things that I've been working on, capture a little bit of footage, and then that might be part of the guide. So if you come by the live stream, you might find yourself becoming part of a guide that's on the internet. You never know. At 8 o'clock tonight, we're gonna live stream Aegir. I have 3 Aegirs I can do now. So my main does hard, artillerist does normal, and then Jaboner got to 1660. I spent, I think it was 400,000 gold. So it costs 400,000 gold to go from 1645 to 1660. About 400,000. And I had stacked mats, so it was like a lot of mats, and I think I bought mats the last 4 levels of it, something like that. And then my main is 1700. We got our Horsey mount from doing gate 4. I think it's 5 times. I think it's 5 gate 4s, something like that. And then you also get the Conqueror Star title. So that's where this horse and that title come from. And it's pretty cool mount, I would say. It feels fast. Feels fast. Faster than the other ones. And I believe next week is the Braille 2.0. We're gonna start off just by doing normal. Apparently Braille 2.0 is extremely hard. Hardest fight in the game to date. And the Koreans struggled with the hard mode version for quite a while, and so we're gonna just learn it on normal. Get everybody up to 1700 or whatever they need to be, and then we'll convert over to hard when it seems right. Might take us, 2-3 weeks to do that. Just trying to get rid of some of this energy so it's not wasted. So the game definitely chilled out waiting for Braille, which is what I think everybody was hoping for, is that we would get a reduction in FOMO, because it makes everything very stressful and causes a lot of burnout if the game is just like constantly pressuring you to play it at the highest level and all that stuff. So the solo raids help tremendously because everybody's doing and loving those. So I mean, for me, I'm only doing Behemoth on my characters, Behemoth and Aegir, and then with a group I'll take my main through Thamine, because we're doing gate 4, which gives that extra, I think it's like 22,000 gold or something. And then it's just solo Echidna, solo Thamine on 1640s, and then you do Behemoth with a group. It's a nice combo. It literally only takes like 8 minutes to do solo raids now. It's very chill. And then Echidna, I think, gives like 13,000 gold. I think that's what I got last night. I did 2 Echidnas last night off stream, solo modes, and nice. I got a tool with like extra that on it, like whatever those are called. Hunting. Yeah, treasure pouch drop rate, 52%. I highly recommend getting treasure pouch drop rate on a hunting tool if you. That's because those are filled with material, so why would you not? Alright, so let's do Chaos Dungeon, and I'm gonna run through my build because this will be for the little guide video. Alright, so for 1680 and above, when you have all your points and everything, the main engravings are just preemptive strike. Well, it's just a preemptive strike, and then you can do whatever you want from there. The thing I would recommend is that you get a random preemptive strike stone, and then just try to get all positive nodes in it, so that you can up the crit hit multiplier. If you are brand new to the game, preemptive strike is a guaranteed crit the first time you hit an enemy, and then it gives you a crit hit multiplier that doesn't have like a diminishing return on it kind of thing. And so you're just one-shotting all the characters. And this is a requirement for Chaos Dungeon. And then Contender is good, as you get stacks. It's kind of like Ether Predator, but you get the stacks when you kill something. Raid Captain's good because you're at full movement speed by the time you get partway through this. And then as a Pistoleer, you can add quick pace onto your spiral tracker, and then you're achieving that sooner. And then this can be whatever you want. Stabilized status is good if you have a good character at this, but obviously if you have a bad character, you want to run Cursed All. You could do Cursed All. Keen Blunt as well helps. I wouldn't run Mass Increase because you're reducing your attack speed, and that's not very good. And then since I accidentally moved, I'm gonna do this, and then I'll go through the skills. But the main skills that you're spamming are Desperado, Spiral Tracker with quick recharge on it to reset abilities faster, and then Equilibrium, and Grenade with a quick recharge on it. Those are the main ones. And then you're just doing it over and over again. And if for some reason you run out of those 4 options, you can do a Deathfire, which is what I just did. You can also just do it for fun. But Pistoleer is one of the better characters at Chaos Dungeon, like S tier. Ooh, what do we get? Purple pack. Alright. I'll show you the arc passive after I'm done with this. But I don't even use the T or the Z. It's not as much AoE. You could use it, I guess, like when the bosses come out, but if you have Equilibrium and Desperado up, you might as well do that. And then spacebar. Lots of spacebarring. Alright, so skills are... The main one is Desperado. For both Chaos Dungeon and your main build, this is the best one. When I get a level 10 tier 4 gem, cooldown reduction or attack damage, like, it goes into this. So quick recharge in that, legendary quick recharge in Spiral. This doesn't really matter because you're critting anyway with Preemptive Strike, so you could go Swift Fingers or whatever, but quick pace is good if you're running Raid Captain, and then that. Then ATO2 Grenade, Wide Explosion, very good. You could freeze them if you were worried about it. Like if you're struggling to clear this because you're dying or whatever, and you don't have any gear and you're new, you could freeze them, but it increases the cooldown by quite a bit, so I still probably wouldn't do that. You run this for PvP though. And then Firework makes some 3 grenades, quick recharge on it. Equilibrium, the main one for that is this, the 360. That makes it AoE. Whereas when you're running in your raid setting, you're doing Decimation Shot, which increases damage but makes it real tiny in front of you. You're like shredding them. Cruel Tracker, another Gale Wind, and the difference here is Wide Shot versus the Rapid Fire Enhancement. You're just extending that initial burst. And then we've got Chain Throw here and Law of the Jungle. And Law of the Jungle just takes away the perfect zone and makes it so that you do extra damage to all the little minion guys. Wide Explosion on Meteor Stream instead of Piercing. Another Gale Wind. And then Quick Recharge on Somersault Shot. And this you can just press as you're moving forward to help reduce the cooldown on Equilibrium and Desperado. Like pretty much the whole thing is just built around you having Desperados and Equilibrium up. And then arc passive wise, you're doing full swiftness and then specialization, which increases your crit damage. And then boundless MP gives you that cooldown reduction, as does optimized training. So you're getting 18% cooldown reduction from those. And then Dominion timing gives you an extra 10%. And then this, I think, is just you get Evo damage based on attack and move speed. Since you're running Raid Captain, this kind of works with that, it seems like. So, but you could choose whichever one here. It doesn't really change anything because the main ones are just cooldown reduction. That's all you're trying to do. And then for this, it's about the same, except you just go all Shining Bullet because you don't need the extra crit. So yeah. And then these are the same as your raid build as well. So that's Chaos build for Pistoleers. We have a lot of fun with that. If you're looking to just make a character to farm Chaos Dungeon, I would highly recommend just making a Pistoleer because they are very, very good at it. Same with like gun lancers. I got another cube ticket. I think I'm gonna try to tap the weapon if I have the thingies for it. Trying to get 22 weapon at the moment. Working on it. Yeah, I can do one, I think. 2.2%, here we go. Damn. So for me, I just, anytime I have all three of these, and the solars or whatever they're called now, I tap the weapon. That's my approach to weapon tapping on my main. And I don't think about it, you know? It's like, do I have the material for it? I'm not gonna like spend gold on materials to force it. I'll just, whatever I accumulate with my characters, that's what I get. And I like buying these out to do the exchange. And I like buying the stones out because sometimes you can get lucky and sell one. I like buying these out. Try to optimize my bracelet. And then I buy all these things out because you can... They keep adding rewards up here in this vendor. So these. So like here, there's this shit, and then this. So like I'm just slowly buying these out to get that and this, and then I'll probably just get chaos stones with the rest if I need one. I have a lot of chaos stones right now. I think, yeah, I've got 3,820. So I don't need to buy these, but it's there, you know, it's available. And then these are always here. These reset every week, so you can get death tokens and then buy the card XP. So I like doing that. If you are free to play, these are the things you gotta do. Obviously, if you're swiping a credit card and getting your 25 weapon on all of your characters, you don't need to worry about things like this. But I like to play the game I'm playing. And that results in 25 abitos, but you know, it's something. That's a tap of some sort. All right, let's check stronghold stuff. I'm gonna get some coffee real quick. I'll be right back.
I've got a message for you. I'd like to tell you a little something about a guy, about a guy, about a guy, about a guy, about a guy named Jesus. Everybody's running around looking for Jesus. Everybody's got something to do for Jesus. So why don't we go looking together? Why don't we go looking forever? Why don't we go looking together? Why don't we go looking forever? Anyone looking for his majesty, come with me. 'Cause everybody in the city is looking for Jesus. Why don't we go looking together forever? Why don't we go looking together? Why don't we go looking together forever? Yeah.
Alrighty. Now we're in the stronghold. Yep. I did end up getting a new mouse. My mom bought it for me for my birthday. Very friendly of her. Every year for Christmas and my birthday, my mom asked me to put together a large list of gift ideas. And so I use most of it to sort of troll her. And then the other part of it is like I put serious ones in that I genuinely need and that are also affordable. So I like found a mouse I was gonna buy anyway, and because I use the G502s, this one, and the G502. I used the wired one for, I don't know, 10 years or something, whenever it came out. And so my hand's used to it, and I wanted the wireless, and I tried the G502X, and the buttons were all clanky, because they use mechanical switches, and So the buttons were super loud, super clanky, and I didn't like the way it felt. And so I found a 50% off discount on the just the standard G502 wireless that they made. Has a little bit less I think battery life or something than the X, and then obviously the switches are different, but it is nice. I like it a lot. And what's also cool is, I don't know if this is long enough. So it gives you, they give you this cable, right? And this is the charging cable, but they give you a converter for the little, I guess, sensor for the wireless. And you literally just pull this converter off of the cable, and then you're able to use this to charge. So you just pull this off, and then this is for... I like that. That's nice. You know? So you just yoink that off, and then you can charge your mouse. And then you put it back on, and you can play wirelessly. And it's long enough to handle all that, so if you're looking for a new mouse, I would highly recommend that. And I do not get any affiliated marketing or anything by recommending it, but that's what you get. Let me see if I can find a link, and I'll put it in chat for the history of the chat. Wonder if it's still discounted as well. Let's see. 37% off. It was over 50% off, I think, when I got it. So it's 94 bucks. So that's a huge wall of text. It is not an affiliated link. I do not get anything for it. So, yeah. Very, very good mouse. And if I end up flipping this and putting it on the YouTube channel, I'll put the link in the description. Alright. Let's train some pets. The only one I don't have legendary of right now is the HP. I got the strength and dexterity and shit, and the additional damage. I just don't have HP. And you want your swiftness pet that you're using for like chaos dungeons and your support to take the HP one. So that's something to think about when you're doing this. Is you know that the HP one is going to be your support pet, essentially. Oh, this sucks. Guess we gotta do farm. I wish the farm actually affected your real farming. Like, it feels bad. Like, why can't they give you that bonus for... Like, who uses the farm only to farm stuff, you know? Alright. So we are gonna hop out of here, go to the main town. Alright. So this is my current raid build that I'm using. So the people that keep asking me for this info, what are you currently running? What have you determined? This is what feels pretty good. It's not the best, but it feels pretty good for the time being until we get, you know, the Brel 2.0 stuff and whatever else comes along with it. So when you have your full evolution points, like your full gear, you're running specialization max with secondary crit. Specialization for Pistoleers is the most important initial stat because your scaling is on that. Every time you crit, you get well over 200% specialization. Why is my spec so low? Oh, I have the wrong pet on. That's why. We need... There we go. Okay. Yeah, there we go. So your spec scaling becomes the most important thing for the Pistoleer. As you can see here, it says handgun skill crit damage 197%. So your specialization is heavily impacting your damage. And then if you are not critting, then you can't utilize that bonus damage. So your spells that you're casting are greatly diminished if you aren't critting. So your primary is specialization, but then everything else you're doing is trying to get more crit. And so that's where Keen Sense comes in to play. And I am trying to get as close to 100% as I can, and I'm like at 99 right now, self-buffed. So if I have a crit synergy in my party, which is not very often since I am the crit synergy, I'll take a point out of Keen Sense and I will put it in optimized training. And the reason I'm choosing optimized training over limit break is the cooldown reduction plus the Evo damage is very nice. So my understanding, and I could be wrong, but my understanding is 1 point in optimized training is like having +2 cooldown reduction gems from where you're at. So if you're at level 8 cooldown reduction gems, it'd be like having level 10 cooldown reduction gems. And so this becomes very high value for you as you're min-maxing your build. Obviously you're losing some Evo damage. But I personally like having the lower cooldown reduction, and it feels a little better and reduces any kind of desync and downtime by a little bit. Not a lot, but by a little bit. And then after that, Zealous Smite. I don't like that I am needing to run Zealous Smite because I would rather run Destruction Charger. Destruction Charger has more Evo damage, so it is technically more damage. However, like I said, you're trying to get up to as close to 100% crit rate, and so when you're doing burst damage in these small burst windows in the current in-game, like, it's very, very good to have all of your abilities critting. I think if the fights were set up differently, where it's more like Trixion, you would probably want to position around Destruction Charger with your build, and then you could switch to Master for your elixirs. The the difference between Zealous Smite and Destruction Charger is actually your elixirs. So I'm currently running critical, but if I was to run Destruction Charger, I'd switch to Master, and you would lose about 14% crit. So that's just something that you have to deal with and be okay with. And I think if you were running full adrenaline books and you were getting that extra 6% by doing that, then you could rationalize it. So currently I've got an extra 3% by buying the Precise Dagger books, and then I get an extra 5.2% since I'm doing the stone. And then on top of that, if I was doing adrenaline and I had all of these books, I would likely switch at least 1 point over to Destruction Charger. Like at least one. So yeah. And the feeling of Destruction Charger versus Zealous Smite is a lot better because you don't feel the mass increase as much. Because mass increase, like that minus 10%, makes the Pistoleer feel a little more sluggish. And so as a result, you want to run the wine, which is 3%, so it cuts 3% off of that. And you get these wines, you can buy like a bajillion of them from Pado. So you transfer yourself to Placia and then take a ship over to Pado. And then there's a bartender in the center of the ship at the, like, once you go up onto the main level. There's a bartender on the main area of the center of the ship, and you just buy out those. And so I buy out, I buy these on all my characters that I can, and then you either can use these foods or you can use the wine, and I'll typically just run that wine whenever I'm doing anything, because why not? So that is that kind of setup. And then, yeah, so you're doing Keen Sense. You take a point out of Keen Sense if you have a crit sin in your party, and you could put it in Optimized Training. You can also put it in Limit Break if you just want more Evo damage. It's up to you. These two are kind of flexible based on your preference. And then Zealous Smite, or Zealous Smite with critical elixirs. Destruction Charger if you've bought out Precise Stone and Adrenaline books, which is a lot, but you can do it. And then Standing Striker by default. And then you could switch to infighting if you find yourself getting paralyzed a lot and are not dodging mechanics. So on fights that you're new to, like if you're learning it, I would go infighting. Because for Standing Striker, let me move things around so you can see the text here. There we go. So for Standing Striker, as you can see, it says after start of combat, so you need to attack the boss to get into combat. Gain max stacks of Standing Strike, lose 1 stack when paralyzed, and 3 stacks when pushed. Regain 1 stack every 2 seconds thereafter. So if you're new to a fight and you're getting your ass beat, you're constantly getting put on the floor, go in fighting for that fight. For fights that you're really comfortable with, you want to run this because it does more damage than those. So that's kind of the rule of thumb. The cool thing about the arc passive is it allows you to be flexible based on each fight. And I hope they continue improving this so that you can actually utilize everything as a DPS and just fully take advantage of knowing the arc passive and knowing the different situations that you can, use stuff for. Because it's kind of cool to be able to customize your character as you go. And then for this, you're just going straight down to Secret Weapon. as soon as you have enough points for secret weapon, you need to get it. And then you put a point in quick draw and a point in shining bullet. And this amount of points comes from all of the ancient accessories being over 65 quality. And then you are getting extra points from the then you're getting extra points from the field boss in Abydos Garrison. It spawns up here. And then you get another point, I think, from the Wandering Merchant outside of North Curzan. So regardless of what you're doing, you want to be making sure that you get everything that comes from the Wandering Merchants outside of North Curzan, because there's like 3 different things you need to get. There's like a map. You got to drink these bottles, or open these bottles to get a piece of a map. And then in the next patch, which is, I think, comes next week. I think this comes next week. I believe it does. We'll be able to get the rest of number 2. And then when we get number 2, then as you can see there, it comes with a enlightenment potion. So you're wanting to rush to get 1 done if you haven't gotten it done, so that when this stuff comes out, which I think you get the parts from like the new cube and some other way, and then once you get this, then you'll get another enlightenment potion, and then that increases the amount of these things that you get. So you'll be able to get your, I think you'll be able to get your level 3 maybe, but I'm not sure. Not fully sure on that. And then this is what Brel drops, is the tier 4 bracelet. So once you get the Brel bracelet, then you'll unlock down here. And for Pistoleers, you're gonna either do Quick Storm if you want it to immediately cast for a little bit less outgoing damage than Hurricane, which allows you to just move while you're casting it. So I'm gonna try out both of these. It's very likely I'm gonna want to min-max with Hurricane, but every once in a while I do fat thumb my skill, and I don't hold it down all the way, so Quick Storm might be the play as well. Alright, so that's your raid build for a 1680 Pistoleer. As you're shooting for these engravings, you're trying to get a precise dagger stone with any of these engravings to 9/7. And it's very hard to do, but that's what you're trying to get. You're trying to get at least a level 3. Obviously, if you can get a level 10, you'll get an extra 0.75% crit. And then your book priority is Precise Dagger and Adrenaline. And Adrenaline is literally impossible to get because it's insanely expensive. But that's what you want your priority to be on next after you get your Precise books. And then gem-wise, Desperado is your number 1 gem for both cooldown reduction and damage. So like right now I have a level 7 Cruel Tracker, and I'm saving up gems not to get this as an 8, but to get my Desperado gem to a 9 or a 10. So I really want the cooldown reduction and the damage for Desperado to be level 10 before I do anything else. Because right now at level 8, and all these are level 8, Desperado does about 18% of my kit's damage. And the only things that are close to it are Secret Weapon and Quickfire, which don't get gems because they're your Z and T skills. And then the next one after that is usually Equilibrium and Meteor Stream after that. And these are around like 15%. So Equilibrium, Meteor Stream around 15-ish. And then quick shot and grenade are sometimes about the same. Sometimes grenade wins because it's easier to spam your grenade. Rule tracker is the least damage from your main damage dealing abilities, and then obviously spiral tracker is just like way at the bottom. So yeah. And then for these skills, I am running conviction and judgment. So I do conviction on desperado and I do judgment on equilibrium. And for desperado, I like using the extra roll. And it takes a little bit of time to get used to the extra roll. I'll show it to you. So it takes a little bit of time to get used to the extra roll, but when you press it, you just keep holding down on the button. And then as you're continuing to hold down the button, when it finishes the skill, you can, wherever your mouse is, he hops to. Okay? So, and that hop has push immunity, which is really, really nice to have because you can actually kind of, you know, do skill expression with that. The other thing it does is it gives you maximum movement speed. So being a slow specialization class, that's also really, really nice. So you're sacrificing a little bit of attack speed for this kind of utility skill. And I would highly recommend getting used to it and getting comfortable with it. As it makes the skill like really cool. And then you can also just not press or do anything and then it doesn't even do it. So if you don't want it to do anything, you just don't continue holding the button down. So that's the easiest way to use it. And then you're running armor piercing, style change, and then spiral tracker comes into play once you get your secret weapon. So, secret weapon being down here, you need, I think it's like 3 relic accessories and 2 ancients to get to this point. I think it's around like 80 points maybe, let's see. Just get, yeah, it's 80 points. So 1 point in secret weapon is 80 points. So that's what you're shooting for, is 80 points. And then once you get 80 points here and you get 1 point in secret weapon, you're substituting spiral tracker in for deathfire, or you're removing deathfire for spiral tracker once you get your secret weapon. If you are below 1680 and you're a 1640 Pistoleer or a 1660 Pistoleer, which I have a 1660 Pistoleer, and I'll show you what that build looks like. You're running Deathfire instead of Spiral Tracker. And then once you get that Spiral Tracker, you're running Quick Recharge on it, because your whole thing is, as you're casting a lot of skills, your Z skill cooldown reduces. So Secret Weapon is always being reduced by any skill that goes out. So when handgun skill ends, secret weapon cooldown reduces 0.5 seconds. And so that's why we're swapping in Spiral Tracker for Deathfire, because you're spamming Spiral Tracker and Grenade at pretty much at the same time, and you're reducing the cooldown of this ability that does a ton of damage. Like its burst is like 600 million for me right now. It's just crazy. Yeah. So that's why you're doing that, is you're reducing the cooldown of secret weapon, and that's great. And then that's also why I run conviction and judgment, is because I'll do my whole rotation around. So conviction, Judgment, and then Secret Weapon, Quickfire. And then Quickfire's got that shining bullet on it. So that's kind of how that operates, and then you're reducing the cooldown of Secret Weapon and Quickfire through that Judgment proc even further. So that feels very good. It also reduces the cooldown of your Awakening if you're able to do that after the T skill. And then the other cool thing with Spiral Tracker and Grenade is both of those can run weakness exposure. I would highly recommend doing that because then you're guaranteed to have high uptime on your crit synergy, which helps everybody out, helps you out, helps your party out. So highly, highly recommend that. And then for Grenade, you can do Poison or Bleed, and you're running maximum skill points on that. And Enhanced Grenade, and then the further Bleed through the Ignite. So Bleed or Poison on the Grenade. Then Judgment on Equilibrium. You're doing that Decimation shot. And Vital Point shot. There's some people that run Burn Effect. I tested both of these, and Burn Effect does less damage than Vital Point shot. I still don't understand why people are running Burn Effect, but that's currently what I'm seeing, is the Vital Point shot does more total damage than Burn Effect. And I've tested a billion different times, so I don't know. Don't know why Koreans are running Burn Effect. Maybe there's something for damage over time, like maybe there's some skill or something they get that increases damage over time, but I don't know. Alright, so I'm doing this new thing now where to offset some of mass increase, I run a Rage rune in Cruel Tracker. So usually in your rotation, you're, like I said, you're doing the Conviction, Judgment, and then your Z skill, T skill, and then after that, you're gonna want to pop out Cruel Tracker, and then you can run the meteor stream on the Shining Bullet, and then quick shot, and then go back to the beginning. So that's kind of how all of that flows. And so I really like the Rage in Cruel Tracker because you got 2 chances to get that proc off. See, it procced on the second chance there. And so then your Meteor Stream and your Quick Shot are going to be enhanced by that attack speed, and so you don't feel that mass increase as badly. So that's why I do that. So quick recharge and Quick Shot, and then Swift Fingers, Initiate Shot, Final Light, and then Rage in Cruel Tracker, Swift Fingers, Rapid Fire, Quick Draw. If you are still running, if you're not opening the Arc passive up because you're 1640 and you don't have your relic gear yet and you don't have any engraving books, you are not running mass increase. So you're running Grudge, Precise Dagger, Adrenaline, Curse Stall, and Pistoleer. And so as a result, you don't need to worry about offsetting mass increase. So if you are in that stage, you would just do another quick recharge here. And I run quick recharges here, and then the Conviction and Judgment, because it's just maximum cooldown reduction for Pistoleer skills. And then your uptime is what makes it so that you do very good damage. So for Meteor Stream, you can do Gale Wind. I would recommend it. You can also do, I think there's like a new rune called like Vision or something. Let me see where it's at. Yeah, Vision. So you could do Gale Wind in this or Vision. Vision if you're not running mass increase. Gale Wind if you're running mass increase, because this gets very weird to cast when your attack speed is slow. If I was running Destruction Charger instead of whatever it's called, what is it? All these new words. So if I was running Destruction Charger instead of Zealous Might, like if I took 1 point out of this and put in Destruction Charger because I've got the Adrenaline book spot, I would take this Gale Wind out and do Vision for sure. Because then you're just getting that extra stagger damage, which is very nice. So if you are struggling with stagger in your party for some reason, you could just run Vision anyway. But you do feel every little bit of attack speed difference in the smoothness of the gameplay, at least I do. And then for Enforced Execution, you're just going to run Quick Recharge. This is your Flex Rune spot, and you can also do Purify. And then the thing that I do if I need push immunity is I take points out of Cruel Tracker. So I just press shift click on Cruel Tracker to make it 10. And then I shift click to make that 7. And then I go Swiftness, Tenacity. And that's how that works, so that you do it quickly. Because when you get into a raid setting and you get into a gate, usually people are jumping in to start it right away. So you have to learn how to quickly do this. So it's shift click, 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 and then save. Okay? So little tip on how to give yourself some push immunity. So for gate 3 of Thamine, if you are not overtuned and going in with a juice party, you're gonna need that push immunity to help yourself survive. And there's other gates too that you can do it on. Gate 4 is also good to do it on too if you're learning that fight. So yeah, that's the raid build setup and how that kind of functions, and I'll talk more about the lower ones when I get on my alt. Looking for cute DPS. Nullen Gaming YouTube channel. I usually don't solicit for anything, but we're getting close to the partnership, okay? So I'm, what is that? 43, so it'd be 243 subscribers away from a YouTube partnership. So if I get 1,000 subscribers, my watch time is very high, so I don't have to worry about that metric. But if I get 243 new YouTube subscribers, the @ is @Nullen, Nullen, I will get a YouTube partnership for the channel, which is crazy. I didn't even think that it would be possible, and that people would be interested in watching me hang out with friends and playing games and all that stuff. But if you want to support the channel and support the little group of people that I play games with, if you want to join me and play games with me, you're welcome to join the Discord and be a part of it. If you are funny and you're a comedian or you're doing stand-up in your town and you just want to hang out and talk shit on stream, we could do that too. I don't know, I'm always looking for people to hang out with while I'm playing games on Wednesday, Thursdays, sometimes on Sundays now. Please click the subscribe button if you haven't, if you're watching this. And that's my ad for the day. I think for all characters in the game, your arc passive for Chaos Dungeon is going to be relatively pretty much the same. Is you're getting 2 points in Boundless and a point in Optimized, and then Dominion training, and then after that Swiftness for sure, and then everything else is kind of irrelevant. For Artillerist, I run the Firepower build because there's no point in transforming to the wheelchair. It's fine. It's better than running Barrage in the Chaos Dungeon, but like I genuinely don't like this Kindle thing because it's hard to tell active versus non-active when you're in here. And then booping down and pressing that X is actually kind of uncomfortable with your fingers. I don't know. Like, I wish they let you do custom key bindings for each character. like in Marvel Rivals, instead of just having like a default key bindings that all your characters have to use. Because I would change this. Probably put it on the mouse. I saw the whole WoW community is trying to cancel Thor now, which is pretty crazy. It's very interesting when the whole of the internet makes the decision to cancel somebody like that, and they take every scenario out of context to make it more sensationalized to prove whatever point they're trying to make. And it's very strange to witness like a very sincere, nice person that teaches their community very good things. Like, he's a mentor to young people. Like, he's very friendly. He tries to teach constantly, and you just have this community of haters just like piling on, and it just is a bad look. Like, it doesn't make him look worse. It actually makes the whole community in WoW and the hardcore WoW group look like children. It's like, he's obviously an adult. He's in his 30s. So, like, the children that are angry at him and being nuts about the scenario of him just, like, not being fully optimal in the retreat during a hardcore raid, like you can't blame one person for that. Like, that whole group failed. They failed at what they were doing, and he might have had opportunity to play it better or something, but like, from what I saw, he was simply saying, well, like, you can't just blame one person for a group raid-wide wipe kind of thing. And then the calls are very clear. The call is to run, and then he blizzards, and then you can't Frost Nova a boss, and you either die trying to do something stupid like that and then get flamed for that, or you get out of the raid, which is what you're supposed to do, you know? Like, I led a WoW guild for, I don't know, 4 or 5 years, and it's a very toxic group of people if they decide to get their hooks in you. Like, when I decided to quit WoW, a vast majority of the people that I was the guild master of decided to turn on me and tried to hack my account and steal my gold and sell all of my stuff and all that. And it just isn't a good look when gamers lash out. So my message to Thor is, I hope he finds friendly people to play video games with that he can actually get along with and have constructive feedback with, and that things move away from being toxic as fuck. But if playing hardcore, I think that comes with a level of toxicity because there's so much pressure on it. But I think the lesson for people that are adults is that you should probably focus on playing games with other adults. The angry, you know, mob of gamers that can't handle their emotions and stuff and can't be calm and can't communicate in a calm manner and productive manner. Like, those are people you don't want to play games with. Like, it just isn't good. I run into that problem myself, and I have to take it in phases. It's like if people are being toxic to me or making me feel bad, I just can't do it. I don't have the patience for it. And you get to a point where you just don't want to participate in whatever that is. And so it's like, even when you see Thor leaving a discussion that's irrational, that is a mature decision. You can't fight someone with logic when they're not being rational. And so there's no point in even having a discussion. It's similar with like trying to communicate with somebody that's drunk, like having a serious discussion with someone that's wasted. You will never have, there's no productive way to do that. And so once you see that someone's being irrational and a stupid person or a dumb person or someone that's just being completely insane reveals themselves, you let them remain that way. And there's no point in going further in the discussion, because it's not my job to teach you that you're stupid. It's my job to protect myself and protect my own emotions and to just move on with my life. As you get older, you realize that peace becomes your priority. I've had discussions with my wife when she's been upset at very little things where it's like, I could understand us having a fight about that, like 15 years ago or whatever when we were younger. But like at this point, we need to also sort of like protect ourselves and protect the peace within our relationship. And people that help you do that are the ones you want to keep around, and people that understand that they can choose to be protective of your peace and their peace. Like it's an important thing. It's similar to like improv comedy rules. Is like in improv comedy, you are wanting to always add on to whatever somebody says. So it's like somebody says something ridiculous, you say and you go with it. So you're always going with it. You don't ever say no. And so it's similar with that. You have a choice in a discussion. You have a choice in your feedback with people. Do I want to maintain the peace within this environment that we've got going on by making this funny or making this productive or being friendly or whatever? Or do I want to be an asshole and ruin all this? That becomes a very important thing to decide. And I think as you get older, you just get more accustomed to doing that. If you're a person that's capable of self-awareness and self-reflection on your actions. Obviously, if somebody's just a big man-child or whatever, like, they're never gonna figure that out. There's another character that benefits from the wine through the spec. All spec classes should have perma wine. Put your wine on. And I don't get a arc passive support. That's too bad.
The Chaos Guardians are preventing you from using Giant Stroke! You need to stop Scorpio. Please
Oh, we're just on the head now. We broke. I'm like, what is going on? Yeah, even that guy's like, oh, that was awkward. We got like 0 time on the head. Oh, fuck. I'm trying to get the tail. I'll try to do the tail. I'll try, buddy. Can we get it? Ah. Can I survive? I'll find out. I think we just had like one more person on it at the beginning. We could have gotten the tail. Alright, trying again. Here we go. Yeah, we got the tail. Alright, now we gotta get everything else. No, we didn't get it because we killed him. Almost. Almost got it.
I'm worried about Ren chasing after Behemoth alone. Better follow after her.
Ren's over there.
You're not getting away.
Let's see if the party one can get the tail for us. Really? Here we go. Way to go, guys. Just do that. Are we not doing the tail? Still, I'm not even getting remotely close to it.
The winds are getting stronger. Be careful.
It's really starting to act up. The notes up from the ground. You can break them. I'll turn them into spikes.
Kind of a neat mechanic, I guess. No. No trail. Man, loading into a stronghold. I got the wrong pet on again. And the world makes sense. So close to level 25 for the guild. If you're on Nineveh and you need a guild, please join mine. I have oodles of spots available. Almost 25, so you get access to all the things. And I think I have it set to auto join 1600 auto join. So join Nullen. I'm leaving the solo raids to just random on the weekend while I'm watching shows and stuff. I started watching the anime, what was it? Reincarnated as a Slime. Started watching that one. Pretty good. And then I'm watching Solo Leveling as it comes out. That one's actually pretty solid. Would recommend both of them. Solo Leveling is better, I think, than the Slime one. Notice the English audio, like the overdubs, they just don't do a very good job with them, and I'm sure it's because they don't have a big budget for it. But just the difference between quality of the Japanese voice actors and the English ones is just so different. Because I try to switch to English when I can't look up at the subtitles while I'm playing a game or something, and it actually like starts to distract me how bad some of the voice actors are in English. And so then I'm just like, okay, I gotta just pause the show until I can read the subtitles because I can't handle bad voice acting on an anime. But the Japanese voice actors are all very good because obviously they're involved in all the biggest anime projects. But I like all of the sort of video game anime ones where I'm sure there's a name for them. But I like the ones where a normal person in real life kind of gets access to this leveling system, and then the fruits of their labor pays off. And I think it's partially because we live in a society where, you know, the working hard isn't enough. You actually have to, you know, have all these other qualities, like narcissism is rewarded and being aggressive is rewarded, and so if you just work really hard on yourself and work really hard in general, it typically isn't enough. So it's cool to see something where someone that's clever and works hard, you know, they level up and then they kind of gain the benefits of that. That's why I like MMO games, you know. The grind becomes valuable. So this is my 1660 alt Pistoleer, and I switched to arc passive on him because I've got the 2 engravings leveled up. That's predominantly why I did it early. So again, before you get your secret weapon, so this is as many points as you can get with just tier 4 and no Aegir pieces. So this is like bare minimum. Like tonight when we do a run, I'll get my first piece, which will help a lot. It should unlock a thing of Zealous Smite. Technically, you could still keep this not unlocked until you get your first piece. It's probably a little more damage because of the crit that you're losing versus gaining by having a hallucination set, but I don't know exactly. So I have this. I will test it at some point, probably. I probably should test it today because I'm gonna get a piece. I have converted to Dark Passive, and since I don't have Secret Weapon, I'm running Deathfire. Once you get Secret Weapon, so once I get 3 points here, it'd actually be 2 more points. So once you get 2 more points, which is a 1 ancient piece, you get Secret Weapon, and then you can substitute Deathfire for Spiral Tracker. Okay, so that's how that works. And until you get 1 piece here and get a Zealous Smite, your crit rate is really low versus running Hallucination set in your tier 3. And if you don't have Precise Dagger books and a stone giving you some extra crit rate, you do not want to do arc passive early. You want to avoid this until you get more stuff contributing to your build, because you lose so much crit by switching to tier 4 before you open up the other areas of the arc passive. Once you get Zealous Smite, then you gain all that crit back because you get 24% crit, which makes up for what you're losing by switching over. Makes sense? Makes sense. Make sure I get the weeklies, because holy moly. For lower level Chaos Dungeon, Pistoleer, the build that I went through is exactly the same. As you're focused on the cooldown reduction, same engravings, like all that stuff. Let me just go into Chaos here. And then I don't know how people set theirs up, but I do the Abydos 2 as the 1660 one and the Abydos 1 as the 1640. so I don't accidentally go in the wrong one. That's how I do that. I don't know if people are crazy and they're just like remembering to switch through it, but I never remember. I just click enter. So that's something that has helped protect me from my own stupidity. And I think I'm likely in the next power pass that they give us, I'm gonna do another Pistoleer. And likely sub him in for my breaker. As I'm realizing as a free-to-play player that sharing gems becomes the most valuable thing that I can do. So I think all of the gunners are great. So I'm running all 4 gunners. And then I will do... Is it 4 gunners? So Deadeye, Sharpshooter, Artillerist, Scouter. Yeah. So 3 Pistoleers, Artillerist, Scouter, and Sharpshooter. That's gonna be my roster. I have spoken. And then as you can see, compared to my main, the cooldown reduction just isn't there because I don't have those extra points in the other cooldown reduction abilities, so there is some delay. And as a result, I'm taking a little bit extra damage. And this is where, early on, before you get your A gear pieces, you could stick with tier 3 and do Dominion set, and then you're just awakening at the beginning to activate that. And your cooldowns will be a lot faster. So... why do I not have chaos activated? That actually is the problem. It got in here. Why is it not chaos? This is chaos, chaos, chaos. But then I open it and we weren't chaos. Anyway, so this is as far as it goes before you get pieces. You get the 14%, so you're missing an optimized training and then the Dominion timing. So you're missing quite a bit of cooldown reduction. I'm still confused why it going in there it didn't. Yeah. Why is it switching to the wrong one for my arc passive? Oh, that's here. I'm an idiot. Okay. There we go. And the world makes sense. And let's make sure this is chaos. Yeah, it is. Well, that's going to help a lot more. And when you are new and you just hit 1640, once you start getting your points and you're ready to open your arc passive, once you're ready to start working our arc passive, you want to buy the relic accessories from the market. And we have in our helpful channel in the Discord the best in slot for each of these. And you should be able to afford those pretty easily. But you want to make sure that you buy quality over 65 and then buy these. Don't use your precious things that you get from dismantling accessories on cutting these. You want to just buy them. And then once you get into the 1680 range, you can start cutting your ancients, and those will help you make money because you'll sell them. And then you can also keep the ones as you go. And those are all you want to only ever buy or cut into something over 65 quality to get the maximum amount of points. On Sunday we did, oh, it's Joe. Hey, Mr. Joseph. Joey Buttafuoco. I'm gonna have to come up with a list of different famous Joes, and say it ain't so, Joe. From, the White Sox. Was it 1906, 1907? Selling out the World Series. Say it ain't so, Joe. Remember? I think you remember. Transferring the gems. Hey man, there's a relic selector in the shop. Just gotta spend a little bit to get it. I'm not a boomer, dude. You never read a book on baseball when you were a kid? You didn't care about baseball? Is that what you're telling me? Baseball is dumb. Not when you're a kid. Baseball's awesome. Like Sandlot. Did you watch the movie Sandlot? Kind of person doesn't know about Sandlot. You read Captain Underpants. And Goosebumps. Yeah, I read Goosebumps. Alright, let's look at this relic selector. It just called relic? No. Bonus room? Ah. Ah. Do you have to buy all this to get this? This is like $100. What are you talking about? You gotta spend a little bit. This is like easily $150 or something. Let's see. So this is... Yeah, but it's a lot of mats. Of course it is. Let's see. 4,800 plus 4,800. So it's 14,400. Let's see. So with $100, you get 1,200. And then you gotta do 2,400. So... See, it's $150. You're fucking out of your mind. I'm not spending $150 on this to get a relic. It's worth. Is it? Oh, you're hilarious. That's very funny. As a free-to-play player, that is not a option for me. So I like that you came in here and you're just like, what'd you say exactly? Hey man, there's a relic selector in the shop. Just gotta spend a little bit to get it. It's like fucking a week's worth of dinner for some mats. Yeah, I could buy myself dinner from DoorDash every day this week for that much. It's funny. I like it. You want to do a behemoth? Getting ready for female pally. Dude, you're gonna be the hottest paladin in the world. You'll be like so hot. You gonna make her blonde, do you think? You're gonna do a blonde female pally? What are you thinking? Make her look like Sydney Sweeney or something. Yeah. Tan, of course. Yeah, of course. Bum ba da bum ba da bum bum ba da bum bum bum. Keep it in your pants, bud. Yeah, bud. Gonna nap before getting your kids? Alright, man. I'm going. We're gonna probably have spots for A-Gear normal later. We're gonna do... I'll let you know if we need any fillers for A-Gear hard. You'll be on in 6 hours? I'm just doing behemoth on these two guys, and then I'm saving 3, or actually 4 behemoths. So I'll have 1 I can carry, and then 3 3 others. And then I've got 2 A-Gear normals now, and 1 hard A-Gear. So we're gonna do those 2 tonight. And the A-Gear normals we'll definitely need people for. I think you both are VIPs instead of mods. I could make you both mods, and then you could have a ban off, like you could do like a ban and duel. I don't know if you could ban each other as mods, but I could, if that was possible to ban. Can I get mod before him? To test some mod features. Yeah. Just to give it a test. Give it a look-see. I don't even know the difference. I mean, like, obviously you could ban people in your mod, but I don't know what else you get with mod. Yo, Piss, do you see the rolling selector in the shop? You just, yeah, you're just a little bit of money, Piss, to get it. It costs $150 to get the relic. Just a tiny little bit of money. It's so fucking silly. He thinks it is. He believes in his deep RNG heart that it is. Yeah, that's true. Piss probably does make $150 an hour. The problem is that his $150 an hour that he makes in California is, you know, taxed by like 60%. So he gets the illusion that he makes $150 an hour. $8 for a dozen of eggs. And is that just for like the normal white ones? Like not the cage-free pasture raised, they have names chickens? Yeah, our organic eggs that are actually brown and stuff here, they cost $5 for a dozen. Sometimes I can get 18 for $6, and that's the like best quality eggs you can get, you know. Organic eggs, lol. Well, the process is in what the birds are eating, you know. If the birds eat healthy things, then those nutrients get into the eggs. That's the nutrition logic behind it. So if they're eating out in the fields and they're eating bugs and shit, you know, they're not just having corn shoved up their ass. Well, they also spray the eggs down with chemicals. That's why in America, our eggs have to be our eggs have to be refrigerated, whereas in Europe they don't have to be refrigerated because we spray the fuck out of ours with chemicals to kill off the bacteria, whereas in Europe they get rid of all that bacteria and stuff by what they feed and do with the chickens, whereas we put bacteria and terrible things into our chickens and then we have to spray them down because we do that. Yeah, I mean, if that's how you feel about it, but there's a difference in the process, is you either handle it in, I mean, it's no different than like you eating healthy food and good food. You feel better and your body doesn't, you know, have cancer riddled throughout by eating sugar and shitty food. It probably would be cheaper to buy a chicken and raise your own chickens. There's people that do that. In the area, we have a summer house in Turkey, and the little community there has their own, they have their own little thing of chickens, and the whole community takes care of it. And then when we visit and are there, we're able to get our own eggs fresh from the chickens, and that's literally the best eggs you'll ever eat comes from raising your own chickens. It's pretty distinct. Similarly, like the produce in Turkey is like 1,000,000 times better than the produce in the US. It actually tastes real and how it's supposed to taste. Which is why it's sad that we ruin our food with all of those chemicals and things. Sasson probably has an underground chicken farm. Hopefully Sasson will get on like year 3 or 4 of his marriage, and then he'll be able to negotiate some video game playing time. Obviously, newlywed, you're not going to be able to negotiate anything, you know, because you're just up each other's asses. But hopefully in a couple of years he'll be able to negotiate some time. Why we got two of these guys? What are we doing? I'm not doing that. Did he say that he's having kids soon? Is he having some bebes? Like, what are we doing? Why can I not get into one of these groups here? Let's try this one. You would assume that he's having babies? Yeah, enjoy your nap, man. MBP Dota says, see ya and love ya. Very friendly of him. Am I like I got gems? I guess it's because I don't have any A-gear pieces yet. Then being gate kept. Is that what's going on? I'm not gonna waste time on this. You get 1660 to not get gate kept, and then you get gate kept. What are we doing? Maybe put the oppressor on and not conquer the stars? That'll show them. But I'm applying for Behemoth. Oppressor is for A-gear. Like I could do Eye of the Tempest or whatever. Like Behemoth should just be your 1660 and you just get in. They're also clearly not looking at my gems that are all level 8 tier 4 gems, you know? Like I will do more damage than all of the people. And we got decimated in our ranked Marvel Rivals on Sunday. We did not do a good job in our efforts of playing Marvel Rivals. Yeah, we really did. I mean, it's very clear that we're all fucking noobs at the game, which is fine. But it's just like, holy shit. Probably get this briefly. I would agree, yeah. Like the one guy only plays Punisher permanently, which means no matter what, like we're having a Punisher, and then yeah. I would concur with that. I also can respect somebody doing the one-trick pony thing, like at the beginning of a game. It's like, I'm gonna just get really good at this one character, and I can see that being valuable. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, my in real life buddy isn't the best of gamers. He tries, but he takes a little bit to figure it out. It's why he doesn't play like Lost Ark, as he truly has boomer hands. He's also like 46. He started PC gaming. Yeah, it is still fun, and I agree it'd be nice to win. That's why I was trying to be really flexible even in the moment. It was like okay, if we're getting our asses handed to us, I'm gonna try to run 3 heals to keep everybody up again. Give it time to allow people to get their... Yeah. I think if we play again as a group, we can do some more quick... Like, do the quick play. And then we don't need to feel so obligated to do, like, a meta setup where we have, you know, 2 tanks, 2 healers, and 2 DPS. And then we'll also get the, you know, less try-hard people. As playing the game that way, where you feel like you're not just getting shit on, you actually learn how to play the game. And I did try that Doom mode or whatever, and that was pretty cool. I actually won a couple of rounds of it with when I was playing as Star-Lord. My Star-Lord has gotten a lot better. I've gotten stronger with him. I would say Star-Lord's probably my best DPS that I can play. And then Cloak and Dagger for healer. And then Raccoon for kind of like a hybrid between DPS and heal. I just gotta learn the minutia of like using his little fly ability. Like going in, canceling it. Most games are dealing with Iron Man. Yeah. And snipers basically fix that. So like Hawkeye fixes that. And then if the Punisher were to actually focus him, that fixes that. Star-Lord can also duel him pretty easily. That one Deathblade chick that you play, she's on the rise, I think. Like a lot of people are playing her now. She's pretty strong at sneaking around to the back line and assassinating healers. Because in ranked, you pretty much want to target the healers and get rid of them and try to ignore the tanks, and then kill healers, one-shot the DPS, and then worry about the tanks. Yeah, focus targeting. And knowing when someone's overextended, which is similar to League of Legends, where it's like, when I was Diamond in League, pretty much the difference between Platinum and Diamond was, one, helping your team not get tilted off the face of the earth, but 2, just knowing what a micro overextension is. And whereas like Platinum is like macro overextension. It's like, oh, this person's overextended. We need to take advantage of that. And that is why Doctor Strange is probably meta then. So like if you die, then the tank needs to immediately switch to Doctor Strange, put up a portal, and then everybody take it. Yeah, it really is. Unless you have a whole bunch of classes that can fly. Don't you dare take both. Yeah. What you got? Suck it. That was so toxic there. That was like super toxic. I'm thinking tonight we'll knock out a whole bunch of raids and stuff, and then tomorrow finish the raids, and then you'll probably do some quick play on Rivals if you're feeling better. Speaking of which, are you feeling better? Golf ball in your throat? Do you think you might have strep throat? Because if you have strep throat, you gotta get antibiotics for that. You could go to one of those, I don't know if you guys have them out there, but there's like these $100 clinics, and you can go, I think I have strep throat. I need a strep throat test. And then they shove a thing down your throat and test you, and then give you antibiotics if you don't. Insurance sucks unless you pay for the low fucking deductible shit that costs $1 bajillion. Like, oh, do you have insurance? Yeah. Have you ever used it before? No. Well, until you reach $2,000 of spending money out of your own pocket, nothing is covered. So, have fun. What do you mean nothing's covered? You don't have symptoms of strep? That's good. So just drink lots of fluid. Drink lots of fluids. Maybe some, there's a tea called Throat Coat, okay? It's at a majority of grocery stores that have typical products at them. But there's a tea called Throat Coat, and it kind of tastes like licorice. And you can put some raw honey in that, make it sweet, and that will help you not have a golf ball in your throat. Also, apple juice. That's a lot of tea bags. I think we have like, I don't know, a very small package of them. I think it costs like $6, $7 for like, you know, 15 of them or something. I mean, it's probably the same price. That's a fuck ton of tea bags. It works though. Like, I had strep, I think, I don't know, one random summer. And I drank that pretty much like 1 or 2 of them a day. And it helped a lot. Stocking stuffers. Or anytime you send like a letter in the mail, you know, like a card or something, you just put a little throat coat pack in there. Happy birthday, Mom. Here's the throat coat. Enjoy. We do that with Turkish tea because we import tea bags from Turkey because the tea in Turkey is just 10 out of 10. And so whenever I send any kind of gifts out or anything, I put some Turkish tea in there for people, and then it's a nice gesture. So you could start doing that with throat coat. The only reason I'm doing this low paying is because the reset happened and I want the Unitask gold. Let's see if I can get into an Argios on this guy. Arc passive only. DPS, come on. I'm exactly what you want. Oh. Alright, we'll try one more. There we go. Oh, lobby's full. Never mind. Alright, we'll do the Chaos Dungeon on this guy, and then I'm gonna get some lunch. I think I'm gonna make It's more of like a brunch, I guess. I do a
Back. I was waiting for you.
scrambled
There are
eggs with
manners on the usual
spinach
table. You can go
and
check that
cheese,
in the
and
office.
then I do a avocado mixture. So I do red onions, chop those up, and then cucumbers, chop those up, and then walnuts. And I kind of crush the walnuts up, and then I take a full avocado, mush it, and then put all that in there with salt and pepper. So I do that with the eggs, and then I make a protein shake that I have after we work out, and then usually for dinner we do something. Yeah, it's very filling. We're on this like health kick because we like as I said, we paid for the fancy gym membership, and so every single day over the winter we've gone to this fancy gym. It's pretty much like a tradition that we have is in the winter time, because we're not going outside as much since it gets cold as fuck. We get a nice gym membership for ourselves that has a sauna and a steam room and a pool, and then we work out. My wife does classes, and I lift weights and do a bunch of cardio while I'm reading, because I like doing cardio and reading books. It's usually how I do most of my reading. And then together we go to this sauna, and then we swim, and then in the locker rooms they have steam rooms. Yeah, we cancel. The gym that we go to is called Lifetime Fitness, and they made a new policy where they don't... The only thing that's hard to get out of is that you have to go there in person to cancel. You can't cancel over the phone. They make you do it in person. And we actually already canceled it. So like, because you have to cancel a month in advance. So we're going until like February 10th-ish, and then in February we're gonna go to Florida to visit my parents, and then also we're having like a little family reunion there, and then we're gonna be there for like 12 days or something. It is how all subscriptions should be. And I think that they did it that way because the subscription's so expensive. It would just be insane to make people pay like a startup fee and, you know, all that stuff. So instead they just put all of the fees in the subscription itself. For the two of us to go, it's like $230 a month. And then they're increasing it, I think, again in the spring. But we have plans to basically like in like mid-October to February is usually when we get a gym membership at a nice gym, and then we cancel it. And then if they offer any kind of like free trial or something, like a week, like we take advantage of that. But we do October to February, and then
You're back.
once spring
I was
comes
waiting for you.
in
There are matters that need
April,
your
we're
approval. You
outside
can go check
doing
them
long
in the
walks with the
office.
dog and Mr. Frank. Yeah, we are smart consumers. That's also why I'm a free-to-play player. You can't build any wealth if you spend it, you know? So my wife and I have a very similar frugal mindset. Is we like to save money and invest in things so that we can retire early. And so if we can not waste money, then we don't, you know? But investing in your health is like super fucking important. So that's why we do that. Yeah, I'm not $150 for a relic selector. No, thank you. That's like the funniest thing. Like even in this game, like when the like when I run out of the aura or whatever, I just use gold to buy the things, and then I also use gold to buy the leap essence for farming. It's like 4,000 gold for leap essence to transfer the blue stones. The only thing I will spend money on is like if there's a 10 out of 10 skin for my main or something. But otherwise I just try to save gold and buy things with gold. So I'll be back in like 20 minutes. I don't mind it either, but I don't like spending money on sort of cheating in the game. You know, it's like I just can't rationalize. Is it's sort of like when I was a kid, and I use this example a lot, is when I was a kid, I got Game Genie for the Nintendo, and I ended up hating it because it ruined all of my favorite games. And there's just something about like giving yourself power in an easy way instead of earning it that feels bad. And so I never like to pay for power because it literally ruins the game for me. Just mentally. It just, for whatever reason, it just makes me not want to play the game anymore. And so I actually avoid RMTing because if I did RMT, I wouldn't play the game. And I know that for a fact. Exactly. It is like a tip. I agree. 100%. It is 100% like tipping him. And that's why I liked League of Legends, because they spent a lot of time and resources in making really cool skins. And so I didn't feel bad at all in like buying a bunch of skins for League, because there was no way to pay for power. And that was really cool to me, is that they invested a lot of company money and time in making really cool skins, and, you know, hiring teams to do sound design and hiring teams to do music for the character and animations and all that stuff. Like, very cool to do that. And I wish Lost Ark would take a page out of that book and spend more money and more time on skin development, as there's so much money to be made there. Instead, they're, you know, more focused on nickel and diming people into paying for power, which kind of fucks with the game. Custom skill animations, yeah, the everybody would be buying those skins for sure. The problem is that they would sell those like the transformation skins. Like, the transformation skin should have came with a regular skin, you know? But instead it's a separate item that you equip on your transformation class, you know? It's fucking weird. Just little ways that they nickel and dime. It lacks respect. I'll be back in about 20 minutes. Have a good one.
I've got a message for you. I'd like to tell you a little something about a guy. About a guy. About a guy. About a guy.